Hello, hello, and welcome to episode 214 of the Compassion and Cucumbers podcast. I'm Christine.
And I'm Sam.
Here's what's coming up in today's show. In this week's Y-Files, we'll tell you about how orangutans are using plant medicine in the wild.
In our Noteworthy segment, we want to remind you of the advocacy organization known as Apex Advocacy.
And in our main topic, we're discussing imperfect veganism. What is it? And how do we practice being imperfect?
We have a lot of new listeners, and some of you have recently gone vegan, which is awesome.
Yes.
We thought it would be a good idea to revisit the topic of living an imperfect vegan life.
Yeah. But before we get into all that, I want to ask, did you see the Bad Bunny halftime show at the Super Bowl?
I did.
I know.
I did. Because you told me I had to watch it.
Yes, I watched it in real time because I was watching the game. Sam
Yes.
does not like football.
I do not. And so I was in another room reading. And when I get into reading mode, I'm not easily pulled out of it.
This is true.
And so I was like, you know what? I'm not going to watch it right now because I'm in the midst of reading.
Yeah.
But when I woke up this morning, it was the first thing I watched. And it was fantastic.
It was fantastic.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah. And I said, and Sam concurred, that I think it was the best halftime show, in my opinion, since Prince.
Yes. And I'm sorry, but there is no one who will ever top Prince.
Well, the Prince halftime show, if you haven't seen it, go on YouTube and see if you can find. I'm pretty sure there are videos of it.
I think so.
And it was pouring rain.
Yeah.
While he was playing, and it was just so theatrical and so amazing. He was Prince.
Well, I mean, that's right.
Yeah. But the Bad Bunny show with the production value
Oh my God.
was amazing.
I mean, just the scenic changes alone,
Yeah.
and the fact that, Benito got some serious names up there with him.
He did.
And
kept it secret.
And kept it secret. Yeah. I mean, he was joined by Lady Gaga. He was joined by Ricky Martin. Pedro Pascal made a cameo, as did Cardi B.
Yeah.
I spent some time scanning the group for Lin-Manuel Miranda.
I know,
because I was like, wait a minute, Lin's got to show up. This just has to happen. And it didn't. And that's okay. No shade on Lin.
Yeah.
But it was just phenomenal from start to finish. The music was incredible. The messaging was just so spot on.
Yeah. I mean, the dancers were
phenomenal.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah. And oh my God, it was just, I don't know, it was just kind of blown away. And I think a lot of us have just been kind of desperate for something positive.
Yeah.
And
it really was just kind of so joyous and celebratory. And
yeah. And the way that he was celebrating his Puerto Rico and all that meant to him, and the handing off of his Grammy to the version of his younger self, and telling him, stick to your dreams, that they'll come true one day. And it was just really wholesome, you know, which is amazing considering how much controversy certain people created around him being the halftime show, which I don't even know why, other than the fact that he did the whole thing in Spanish.
Right.
But it was incredible.
It really was. And for me, as we got towards the end and all of the flags for all of the South, Central, and Caribbean American countries started coming across the field, and he's naming them one after another, from south to north. Yeah. Which I thought was fantastic. Yeah. Saying that this is America.
This is America. The United States is not America.
That's right.
There's South America, there's North America, and there's all kinds of countries in between the two. So,
and it was just really, really beautiful.
Yeah, it was. I hope you saw it. If you didn't see it, there is a version of it on YouTube. There's a couple versions of it.
There are plenty of YouTube videos.
YouTube. I was actually watching the one I think that the NFL put on YouTube. Yeah. And last I looked, there were 30 million some odd.
No, it was 60 million.
Was it 60?
When you showed it to me.
I thought it was 30
upwards
million.
of 60 million views.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we did. I was glad to see the Seahawks won. Go Seahawks. Go Hawks. Because I'm not a fan of the Patriots. I never have been, and I never will be.
No, that's just fine.
And the Seahawks are a woman-owned team, which is...
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So appreciate that. And it was a good time.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So that's what we were up to. Hope you enjoyed your Super Bowl weekend. Guess what? We have a recipe this week.
We do. We haven't had a recipe in quite some time, so I'm kind of excited about this.
Get away from the having a recipe every week thing.
Yeah.
So now when we have one, it's kind of exciting.
This is true.
Yeah. So this week's recipe, let me introduce it. So here's this week's vegan recipe of the week.
Well, but it's not the recipe of the week because we don't do one every week.
So here is this week's recipe of every once in a while.
Okay.
Cue the music. Anyway, this week's recipe is Nisha Vora's buffalo cauliflower bites.
Now, if you've listened to the podcast for any length of time, you will know that both of us absolutely love cauliflower, and also we are both big fans of Nisha Vora.
Yeah. Yeah, Nisha Vora, and her YouTube is Rainbow Plant Life, and she has a fantastic new cookbook out. But this recipe came from her food blog, so we're going to also share that recipe with you. And the secret to this recipe is something I never considered doing, and it is substituting in the batter of the cauliflower bites rice flour, white rice flour, instead of an all-purpose flour. And boy, does that make a difference.
It really did.
Yeah.
It really did. It holds the sauce differently.
Yeah.
It doesn't get completely saturated.
Yeah, and it keeps it
by
crispy.
the sauce, keeps it a little crispier. Yeah. And so we actually, I shouldn't say we, but Christine actually made this twice this week.
Well, I made it the first time because I wanted to try it out and because I wanted to make it for a Super Bowl party that my sister was having, which we didn't make it to because A, Sam hurt her back.
I did.
And B, the weather was crappy.
It was.
So we stayed home and I'm like, well, I guess I might as well make some cauliflower bites anyway, even though it's just us. So I made cauliflower bites and we had them in the afternoon as just kind of a snack. Mm-hmm. And then for dinner, we had them
in
a wrap with some coleslaw and stuff. It was
really good.
It was pretty good. Yeah. So we'll share the recipe of these buffalo cauliflower bites and you can try them for yourself and let us know what you think. Cause I thought they were really good.
Yep. And the one thing that I want Christine to try the next time she makes these cauliflower bites is after she does the rice flour batter is to then also roll them in panko.
Yeah. When I make my recipe, which is very similar to this recipe, except I use all-purpose flour.
Right.
I dredge them in the batter and then I do put them in panko and then bake them.
Yep. And so I'm just curious to see if that difference in the flour, because my one kind of objection, and it's not really an objection, just note on your cauliflower recipe is that they the batter absorbs too much of the sauce, sort of gets a little mushy.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so I'm wondering if using the rice flour instead of the all-purpose flour and then still doing the panko thing would make them even crunchier.
We can try that.
Yeah. It'd be a good experiment.
We'll try it and report back.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
That means more cauliflower for me.
Right. Let's jump into this week's Why Files. This is a great story. This comes to us from discoverwildlife.com. So, orangutans seen to make cream from a plant to treat facial wound in a world first. And there is a video, so we'll link to the article in the show notes and you can watch the video. A Sumatran orangutan in Indonesia has been observed healing a nasty wound on its face by making a paste from a native plant known to locals as having healing properties. The primate chewed the stems and leaves of the Akar kuning plant. It's a type of liana vine, and repeatedly spread the juice and shredded leaves on his open wound over a number of days. Traditionally, the plant has been used by Sumatran islanders as an anti-inflammatory, antifungal, and antibacterial medication. But this was an almost unique observation of a wild animal of any species seeking out a specific plant to cure an injury. Although there are recorded instances of primates in other parts of the world swallowing whole leaves and nibbling bitter pith, as well as rubbing their furs with medicinal foliage to medicate against parasites or perhaps alleviate muscle pains, until now, there has only ever been one isolated report of wound treatment with plant material. This is amazing, right?
It is amazing. It's very cool.
The orangutan, a male about 35 years of age, known as Rackus, lives in the peat swamp forests of Gunung Leuser National Park on the island of Sumatra in the Indonesian archipelago. A research team in the park noticed in June of 2022 that Rackus had a large open wound on his facial flange, or cheek pad, close to his right eye that looked swollen and infected. They assumed that it must have been the result of a fight with a rival male, as Rackus had become sexually active less than a year before. He had been heard long calling in previous days in an effort to assert his dominance. About 3 days after he received the wound, Rackus was seen chewing the leaves of the plant and smearing the juice from his mouth over the raw patch. When flies settled on the wound, he spat out some of the leaf mash and spread it over the painful area until it was completely covered. He repeated this treatment regularly over the next few days and also rested more than usual. This behavior and the frequent reapplication of the poultice to the wound removed doubt that Rackus's actions were accidental. What is also known is that orangutans rarely eat that particular plant, so its choice would seem to have been deliberate and related to dealing with the injury. 8 days after the wound was first noticed, scientists could see that the raw skin had completely closed up, and months later, there is barely now any scarring to show where the orangutan was injured. And there's pictures of this glorious orangutan.
Yes, indeed.
He is quite the specimen.
Oh, he is. He's a very, very handsome orangutan.
Yeah. Whether Rackus was using the plant because he was conscious that it would help heal his wound or because he was copying what he had seen other orangutans doing with their wounds is still the subject of debate amongst researchers. The acarcooning plant has pain-relieving properties, so Rackus may have accidentally touched the plant in the past and noticed that it soothed a sore finger, for instance. The orangutans in the study area are well-nourished and generally peaceful, so not many of them sustain wounds as bad as Rackus's. This has made it difficult for scientists to establish if other members of the species in the area also self-medicate their injuries. Researchers' efforts are now focused on gathering more information on this aspect of orangutan behavior. Overall, the study adds to the knowledge scientists have been gathering around the world about the origins of human wound care and whether the use of medicinal plants was behavior learned by our ancient ancestors from observing their closest primate relatives.
Cool.
Right?
Yeah.
So we may have actually learned plant medicine by observing our primate
Cousins.
yes.
That's really awesome.
Right?
Yeah, I kind of love that.
Yeah, so like I said, I'll link to this and you can watch the video of this amazing animal and see pictures of him because he's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's really beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, that wouldn't surprise me either. It makes perfect sense.
That animals use plant medicine?
Of course.
I know. It does make perfect sense. I don't know why we are, and when I say we, I mean me, so surprised when I read articles like this because it just makes perfect sense that they are a part of this planet.
Yes.
And they are more in touch with the natural world
Yes.
than we are.
Right. And are
Certainly
aware
now.
of the properties of the plants around them and how they might be used. Yeah, absolutely.
So it makes all kinds of sense that humans actually learned plant medicine by observing animals.
Right, because you have to assume, for animals, the learning is completely experiential.
Right.
They figure out how things work by doing.
Right.
So yeah, I love that. I think it's great.
Yeah. I guess we'll move on now to our noteworthy segment.
Yes, where we are highlighting Apex Advocacy. We just want to share some of the work they are doing, their initiatives, their upcoming events, and some of the discussion topics that they have available on their website. So, Apex Advocacy cultivates BIPOC leadership and narrative infrastructure for animal justice. So, animal liberation is practiced as collective liberation. And this is something that we were talking about last week.
Yes.
The idea that social justice movements need to collaborate, that we are more effective when we are collaborative.
Yes, and Apex Advocacy is all about that intersectionality.
Yes, indeed. So they equip BIPOC advocates with political education, organizing skills, and community-rooted support. They also produce BIPOC-centered media that reshapes public understanding of animal exploitation and its ties to the systems our communities navigate. They also strengthen cross-movement strategies, so animal justice moves from the margins to the center of liberation work. Now, a few of the initiatives they have going on right now is PAAW, which is Pre-Animal Activist Week. Pre-Animal Activist Week is Apex's flagship program, designed to ignite the animal advocacy movement by centering Black, Indigenous, and people of color social justice activists. This immersive, empowering, and entirely free multi-day experience is for those who are already passionate about justice but have not yet incorporated animal liberation into their work. PAAW, or PAW, invites advocates to explore the intersections of human and animal oppression through a decolonial and collective liberation lens. Previously held in Atlanta, Georgia, with sights set on Los Angeles for future events, this event creates a space for radical learning, grassroots engagement, and community building that connects the fight for animal rights to broader movements for justice. They also have a fantastic animal activism starter guide for BIPOC activists. Animal rights spaces in Western societies have, whether consciously or unconsciously, been historically conceptualized and built around issues of whiteness. That is, white thought leaders, white privilege, and the socioeconomic benefits that come with being white. This has led to veganism and animal rights causes being associated with an inherent level of whiteness, largely leaving out Black, Indigenous, and people of color from the conversation and the larger animal liberation movement. Apex Advocacy's BIPOC Animal Activism Starter Guide exists to bridge this gap in animal advocacy by helping BIPOC activists, individuals, and communities activate their engagement in animal liberation as a social justice cause worthy of their efforts, and which is, in fact, foundationally interlocked with their own liberation.
I love that.
I do too.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And anything to give people of color and Indigenous people a safe space to advocate.
Absolutely.
Because what Apex also does, and you will find this more so like on a daily basis on their Instagram page, they will also call out racism within the vegan community.
As well they should.
Yes. And they've been doing a great job of holding other members of the vegan community accountable in that way. And I really appreciate them doing that.
Absolutely.
Because that is something that we just will not abide by.
No.
You know, and you want to know which activists out there are displaying racist behavior.
Certainly.
You know, so you can unfollow them and certainly not platform them in any way. So,
yep, you bet. Now, we'll link to the Apex Advocacy website in the show notes. And what you can do, you can download their Animal Activism Starter Guide for free. And just below it on their webpage are a number of add-ons to the guide, including safety resources, pressure campaigning resources, a fundraising training series. That's amazing. Okay. And then there's a feedback form as well if you have other resources that you think that they should include.
yeah.
They also have a really great blog. So definitely check them out. They're just awesome.
Yeah. Check out their website because there is all kinds of really useful information on there. I also wanted to mention some of the people involved. Now, Apex was actually started by Sol Eubanks.
Okay.
And recently Sol stepped down as like the head of Apex, but he is still working within the movement. But other people that are involved is Yvette Baker. She's their program lead developer, educator, and facilitator. Yasmin Badshamaya. is their program co-developer and facilitator. Then again, Sol Eubanks, Christopher Eubanks, is their movement voice, founder, program support, and operations lead. There's Marianne Montalvo, their movement voice and operations lead. Akbar Ali, you might recognize some of these names because some of them are very vocal in the vegan movement. He's one of their movement voices. One of my favorite people on the planet, Christopher Sebastian, is an educator and movement voice and facilitator for Apex. Braille Ringer is the movement chef and wellness support. Connie Spence is a voice for Apex Advocacy. We all know Connie Spence from her work with the AFA, and she recently stepped down from the AFA and is kind of refocusing her efforts through Apex, which I love because this is a fabulous group of people, and they need all the help they can get.
Indeed.
So many really great BIPOC people contributing to this effort. And if you can support them in any way you can, either monetarily or even just sharing their information and sharing their posts on Instagram if you see them, sharing their reels if you see them, just to give them a bigger platform because they're doing fantastic work. It is definitely work that needs a home. And so I'm really glad that Apex is hanging in there, and their team seems to be growing. So yeah, follow them on Instagram for that real-time information about their work, and they're at Apex Advocacy on Instagram.
Nice.
It's time now for our main topic. And this week's main topic is imperfect veganism.
Gotta love that.
Yeah, I mean, we're not perfect people. I mean, I'm almost there, but...
Really, that's a matter of opinion.
Yeah, I'm kidding. But yeah, we are definitely imperfect people. So how can we be perfect vegans? We're imperfect people, and B, we're living in an imperfect world.
Amen to both of those things. Yes.
So how do we make living vegan sustainable in being imperfect people living in an imperfect world? Mm-hmm. Let's talk about that.
Yes.
Okay, so we've been vegan for almost 9 years now, and our journey has had some ups and downs. I think that's true for most people because the world simply isn't designed for us vegans. At some point, you will struggle. And how we deal with those struggles can look very different from person to person. So lately, we've seen people online stepping away from veganism or plant-based eating entirely. And of course, that's a shame. We don't want that happening because there are so many benefits to being vegan and living vegan.
That's right. And the benefits are multifaceted.
Yeah.
You can think of them in terms of ethical benefits. You can think of it in terms of health benefits or environmental benefits or all of the above. Yeah. But no matter what you eat, we as a society, we have to reduce our overall consumption of animal products. Modern animal agriculture is about as far removed from nature as it's possible to get. And it is filled just completely even just founded upon cruelty and environmental destruction.
Yeah.
What can become a problem, though, is when a movement expects everyone to act in the exact same way. So we want to share how we practice veganism, the nuances, compromises, and boundaries we have to show that there is more than one way to live a vegan life.
Right. Because like we said at the top of the show, I know there are some of you that are new to our space, and I don't know if you've gone through our back catalog, and some of this stuff we may have talked about in the past, but I think it's always good to, like we did last week with more effective outreach, to do kind of like a refresher on stuff like this.
Yeah.
Right? So let's start like from the basics. Vegan versus plant-based. I know most of you already know what the difference is. Veganism is a philosophy. It's the belief that animals should not be used or exploited, not for food, clothing, entertainment, or other products. And plant-based refers to a diet. It's simply a way of eating.
Yes.
What we believe morally and how we're able to live in the real world will never line up perfectly, right? Nobody lives 100% in alignment with their moral compass all of the time. We try our best, but life is full of nuance.
That's right. So, for example, one of the tenets of veganism is to cause as little harm as possible. I'm sure you've heard us talk about this before. It's the concept of ahimsa.
Right.
And so the thing is, from the moment you step outside in the morning, like possibly even before then, you are going to cause some degree of harm. So, for example, the fact that it is now winter and we are running our heating system,
Sure.
that may have some environmental impact. The fact that I drive a car to work in the morning is going to have some environmental impact. And I may kill a whole bunch of insects that I can't even see on my way to work. So harm is being caused. But what we can do is reduce the intentional harm that we cause.
Absolutely.
Because for me to be able to say, in order to live fully as a human being, I need to cause no harm, that's essentially impossible. So let's take care of the harm that we can control. Because we can't control everything.
Yeah. And let's talk about some of the boundaries and decisions that we've made to do that sustainably.
Sure.
First on the list, I have that we don't really stress about cross-contamination when we're eating out. It would be hard to eat anywhere if you're really worried about that too much, right?
This is true.
So when we can, we support fully vegan restaurants, but that's not always an option. If the vegan food is cooked next to meat, our money's still going towards that vegan option, and that's how you create a bit of demand.
Absolutely.
That's how we look at
That's
it
right.
anyway.
Going into an omnivore restaurant and ordering the vegan option lets that restaurant know that there is demand for that option. And maybe it will make sure they keep it on the menu. Maybe it will make sure that they offer additional vegan options in the future. So examples of this. Maybe a place puts their French fries in the same oil as they put their chicken fingers. Not ideal.
No, absolutely not ideal.
Not ideal, but not necessarily a deal breaker. On the other hand, doing that frying in animal fat,
no.
That's a no-no. So for example, McDonald's, like pretty much any fast food French fry is vegan with the exception of McDonald's because they specifically fry their fries in beef tallow.
Yeah, it's a combination of vegetable oils and I don't know, some kind of chemicals and beef tallow.
Right.
Yeah.
So McDonald's fries are a no-go. Yeah. But if we're at a place and we're doing French fries and they happen to fry the fries in the same oil as they fry chicken fingers, popcorn shrimp, anything like that, that's probably not a deal breaker.
Separate fryers are ideal.
Oh, absolutely.
But you can't always have it that way.
Right. And of course, there are some absolutely genius omnivore restaurants, and I'm thinking of Wurlitzer Pizza right now, that has a section of their kitchen that is specifically set apart for vegan food. So there will be no cross-contamination. Like those surfaces are not going to come in contact with meat or dairy.
Yeah,
and it's phenomenal.
That's the ideal situation.
Yes.
But look, if cross-contamination makes you uncomfortable, that's valid.
Absolutely.
We simply prioritize where our money's going over that, I guess.
Sure. And to say that, I mean, we honestly don't eat out very much.
We don't.
Because there are so few options in our immediate area.
Yeah.
It's very, very rare that we go out when we're just kind of hanging at home.
Yeah. It's really rare. And then when we do go out, we have to travel, like, say, to Buffalo or something.
Or to Erie.
And we're going to go, if we can, to
a fully vegan
place.
Yeah.
If we're going to travel that far, or if we're there for some other reason, we will find the closest fully vegan place.
Indeed, we will.
Yeah. Using vintage or inherited animal products. This is something that I do. I have a leather coat that was my father's. That I still have and would wear. I have leather shoes and boots that I have from before we were vegan that I am using until they're no longer usable. And, that can be kind of controversial, but in my opinion, use them until they're not usable anymore.
That's right. I completely agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes no sense to go out and buy something new
Right.
and thereby creating waste
Yeah.
by just throwing out a perfectly good pair of shoes.
Right.
Yeah. It is kind of ridiculous. I mean, you're not the harm has already been done.
Right. We're not creating demand for more of those products by using them.
That's right.
And replacing them with replacing all of your leather shoes with vegan shoes, which are often petroleum plastic based products, it's not necessarily more sustainable.
No, it's not.
Yeah. I mean, so to eliminate waste, just use, in my opinion, I'm going to preface everything, that these are just our opinions. And if you feel like you want to, say, donate or throw away even any animal products that you have at like leathers and wools and stuff like that, that is your prerogative.
Absolutely.
This is just how we do things to make it a little less stressful.
Indeed.
On us, and to eliminate waste of any kind.
Absolutely.
Again,
as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because I think eliminating waste 100% is a pipe dream.
Yeah.
To be completely honest.
Right. And some people argue that by wearing your old leather shoes or a leather jacket that you have from before you were vegan normalizes wearing animal products, but plant-based leather that looks like leather normalizes that too,
Sure does.
And people often can't tell the difference anyway. So focus on what you can control, your spending, your voice, and your choice.
That's right. And to be completely honest, wearing leather is already normalized.
Right. We're not going to further normalize it by wearing leather shoes.
No, not at all.
Nobody's going to look at your shoes and go, oh, that's right, I want to go out and buy more leather shoes.
No, definitely not. Definitely.
And don't get me wrong, I do have vegan leather shoes. I have a couple pairs of vegan leather boots. I have vegan leather slippers that I'm wearing right now, which I love. They're vegan suede.
And they're super cute.
Yeah, they're really cute. And they're Skechers. Skechers has
look really comfy
a line of vegan slippers and shoes. I have canvas sneakers that are just, accidentally vegan. They don't have any animal products on them. There's no leather or anything on them. And so it's not to say that I don't purchase vegan shoes.
Right.
But I'm not going to throw away the leather products that I have and replace them.
Right.
With other things.
Because honestly, at that point, we said the harm has already been done. The animal has already died for the production of that thing, whether it be a jacket or shoes or food.
Yeah.
We don't want that to be in vain either.
Right.
Yeah. If you have something, use it as long as it's usable.
Right.
Yeah. Or if you can't, I highly recommend donating to those who would be grateful.
To use them.
Products.
Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely.
Another thing that really doesn't bother us is the may contain traces of label. So let's say you go to the grocery store and you pick up a box of cookies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we do that.
Cookies.
And we're looking to see if the cookies are vegan. It's not marked on the box, but that doesn't mean they're not vegan. There are plenty of mass-produced snacks out there that are vegan. They're just not labeled as such.
Yeah, they're accidentally vegan, as they say.
So, turn over the box, and it says contains soy and wheat.
Yeah.
Awesome. I can eat both of those things. And then may contain traces of milk, peanuts, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Okay. Note the first one is milk. Obviously, we don't want to partake in milk, but that label is not about ingredients. Okay. Milk is not an ingredient in that product. It means that the product is made in a facility that also handles milk, eggs, seafood, etc. And they're warning you about the possibility of cross-contamination, which we talked about a little bit before.
Yeah, it's about allergens.
Yes. So it does not mean that those ingredients are present in the product. And there's no intentionality. Yeah. Should a trace of any of those things show up in that product. This is a legal precaution for people with severe allergies. It's another form of cross-contamination, and we don't really factor it into our decisions. So if I'm looking at a product and it says contains soy and wheat, I'm like, cool, I can eat this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so I would not completely eschew an item that says may contain.
Yeah. Yeah. May contain milk, may contain eggs.
Right. Because then because that again just reduces your options so significantly.
Sure.
Because almost everything is made in a facility that processes other things.
Right.
It's very rare that you get a factory or a production site that is completely allergen free.
Yeah, unless you're buying from a vegan brand.
Yeah.
Exactly. That is 100% vegan.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And that doesn't bother us.
No.
Restaurant mistakes and food waste. This is where things can get kind of tricky. If a restaurant makes a small mistake, for example, there's milk in the bun that wasn't listed on the menu, I won't send, there's no way for, number one, there's no way for me to know that.
There's not.
Yeah. And if somehow I found that out, I'm not going to send my entire meal back because my vegan burger or my veggie burger is served on a bun that may contain milk or butter. Right.
Right. Now, when you're looking at a menu in an omnivore restaurant and it says brioche, there's a very good chance that there is dairy in that. Most brioche has either milk or butter, if not both, in them. So just have that on your radar.
Right. Now, if they bring you your meal or if they bring me my meal and there's actual animal flesh or actual dairy cheese on it, that I will send back.
Right.
There's no way I'm going to eat that.
Right.
Right. But a minor ingredient in something like bread, will probably just eat it and chalk it up to, well, I won't get that bun in the future. Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
But tell the restaurant about the mistake because it's good for the servers. It's good for them to have that information. But we're also deeply aware of the amount of food that is wasted in our country. And these situations are pretty rare and imperfect. But like we said, life is imperfect.
Absolutely.
So,
And again, this is a concern largely in the United States.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the world is so far ahead of us in terms of labeling foods within restaurant situations. I mean, the UK, waiters in the UK are required by law to ask every table if there are allergies.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing. And every single item on every single menu is clearly marked for every possible allergen.
Yeah.
And it's clearly marked when it's vegan.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. I really wish that we would follow suit.
Yeah. The European countries are, like you said, way ahead of us.
Yeah. And Canada is the same way.
Yeah.
So I really do wish that we would follow suit.
That would be nice.
It'd be great.
Yeah, that would be nice. Accidentally eating non-vegan food. This has happened to us in the past. I've accidentally gotten a beef burger when it was supposed to be a vegan burger.
Oh my gosh, I remember that.
Yeah.
And we caught it and sent it back.
Bit into it. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is real meat. Yeah.
Yeah, we did catch that.
Yeah.
That's right. It was at that concert.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And we caught it and took it back.
Yeah.
Yes.
We didn't punish ourselves. It wasn't our fault. It was a mistake. And, we brought it back and they apologized for making the mistake.
Indeed.
And we, after we shook off the heebie-jeebies that we got, we ate our vegan burger and it was fine. But like if you do something like you try you're out to eat with somebody and they say, here, try this. And you not thinking, just try it. And it happens to be non-vegan. Don't punish yourself over it.
Right.
Stuff like that's going to happen. Just move on and keep doing your best.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I know I've definitely had, like a piece of a cookie that wasn't vegan or a bite of a muffin that wasn't vegan, and you just got to go, okay, there was probably egg in that, or there was probably milk in that. And that's not ideal. And let's not do that again.
Yeah. Just move on.
That's right. Move on and keep doing your best. That's what it's all about, is doing the best that you can do on any given day.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I'm sure any long-term listeners will be aware of this, but we are not vegans for health reasons
We are not.
specifically.
We are not.
Okay. We are vegan primarily for ethical, environmental reasons, not for health. Do we love that veganism has some measurable health effects for the positive?
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%. But we are not raw, whole food only, clean eaters.
Not 100%. No.
No.
I mean, we are mostly whole foods.
Mostly whole food, plant-based. But we eat vegan nuggets. We had vegan nuggets for dinner just tonight.
Yeah, I made a burrito
In a burrito bowl.
It was really good.
Yeah. We eat French fries. We occasionally eat processed meat substitutes.
Yeah.
We love Just Egg
Yeah.
in both the fold and the liquid iteration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't buy it all the time.
We don't.
Our grocery store doesn't carry it, so
Nope, it doesn't.
it's a treat.
It is
But
definitely
when
a treat.
we're near a grocery store that carries it, we'll pick some up.
That's right. We eat pizza.
Yeah.
You know,
As long as the pizza's vegan, I'm going to eat it.
that's right. We love a good vegan burger.
Yep.
Yeah. But we also cook lentils and beans and stews and whole foods. We eat salads like crazy as soon as greens are in season.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's all about balance. So I was actually telling Christine the other day, I was like, it feels like we haven't had a salad in ages.
Yeah, and it's just been because of the like drastically cold temperatures we've had this winter. Like this morning, it was negative 11 or something, and my car wouldn't start. Not fun.
No.
But because of those really, really cold temperatures and they're trucking the food in,
Yep.
when I buy greens, even organic greens, they don't last very long because they've been shocked. Like they've frozen and they're not good.
Right.
So I'm like, well, we'll just wait until things are more in season. We have been eating spinach. I
Yes.
try to get other things, cabbage
kale.
or kale.
Kale and cabbage.
Things that hold up better in weather like this. So we're not completely green free, but we're
No.
certainly not eating the amount of greens that we would eat during the spring and summer.
That's right. So as soon as April and May roll around, I've warned her it's going to be salad city around here
Salad
because
city.
I love me a salad and I'm feeling the absence of salad in my life.
Yeah, Sam's a huge raw vegetable fan.
I really am.
Yeah.
So yeah, the raw vegetable time of year is slowly approaching, which I'm very excited about.
Yeah.
But for us, it's all about balance. There's nothing wrong with having food that's on the indulgent side every now and again, or that's not, 100% clean or raw or whole.
Right.
It's okay. It's not about that. So we're not into the whole food purity culture or clean eating thing.
Yeah.
If that's your thing, great, awesome. Run with that.
Yeah, like we've said before, we don't really care why people are vegan.
We just like it when they
that
are.
They are.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can have your own reasons, find your own why. We're definitely never going to judge somebody for the reasons they're vegan.
No, of course not.
Because that's a personal choice.
Indeed.
So I think one of the more important points to all this is that we don't all need to have identical priorities.
Nope.
Right? Some people care more about cross-contamination. Some care more about food waste. Some focus more on the health aspects of plant-based eating and others on ethics or the environment. But as long as we share the goal of reducing animal exploitation and harm, there's room for, several different kinds of approaches.
There's room for infinite approaches.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, one's veganism can be as individual as the person themselves.
Yeah.
And gatekeeping who is vegan enough does nothing but push people away.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No one enters this lifestyle, okay, because we do think of veganism as a lifestyle because it affects our choices not only when it comes to what we eat, but how we move through the world and all kinds of other choices that we make. So no one comes into this perfectly informed or perfectly aligned. Yeah. Growth takes time. And one of the really important aspects of growth is making mistakes.
Yeah.
As I love to tell my students.
Yeah, you can't
that they
learn.
have to get it wrong before they get it right.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a cliche that you learn from your mistakes. You
It's
do
not at all.
learn from your mistakes.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead and make them.
Yeah. Yeah. So to wrap this up, I guess I would say we live in a world that's not designed for us. It's not designed for veganism.
This is true.
And expecting perfection all the time isn't realistic, and you're just going to drive yourself crazy.
That's right.
So instead, we should support people in staying in veganism for the long term and allow them their nuances, right? Encourage progress over perfection.
Amen.
And build systems that make living vegan easier. There's no such thing as a perfect vegan. I don't care who says they are.
Right.
Just people doing their best in an imperfect world.
That's right. And honestly, anybody who calls themselves a perfect anything would really make me raise an eyebrow.
Right.
Like, where do you get that idea?
Yeah.
That you're perfect anything?
Yeah.
Because I really do believe, and come on, I work in a discipline that seems to strive for perfection,
Right.
And it's just an unattainable ideal.
Yeah. Perfection
So-
is an illusion.
It is. And so let's acknowledge that.
Yeah.
And instead, let's talk about progress. Let's talk about evolution. Let's talk about getting better.
Yeah.
Not being perfect.
Yeah. So I hope that was helpful, or at least gave you something to think about.
Gave me something to think about.
Okay, good.
Yeah. But then again, I think about things. It's what I do.
It's what I do.
It's what I do. I read and I think about things.
That's right.
It's what
You
I do.
Shall we move on?
Sure, let's do it.
It's time now for our favorite portion of the show.
Must be listener shout out time.
It's listener shout out.
Just want to give a shout out to all my fans watching. I love you guys. I love you.
This week's shout out goes to Sally Martin. Sally recently found our podcast and sent us a lovely email to let us know she listens. In that email, Sally says, "Veganism is part of who I am, and I'm very proud of that. I don't feel better than, I just feel more whole and connected to this amazing planet and all of its creatures." We love that.
Absolutely love
I
that.
resonate with that so much.
Yeah.
When we went vegan, like I actually said that it felt like a missing piece of a puzzle had fallen into
Yeah.
place.
Yeah, you do. I think, I honestly believe that once you go vegan, that a shift takes place where you are a more honest member of the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where you fit into the natural order of things a little better.
Yeah.
At least that's the feeling I got.
For me, it's about clarity and intentionality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like, oh my gosh, all of a sudden the things that I'm doing match up with what I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really an awesome thing.
Yeah, I mean, because you have to look at it like we have years of conditioning to make us eat animals, you know.
That's right.
So once you undo that, I think we end up back into our natural state,
Yeah.
you know.
I agree.
But thank you so much, Sally, for your email. It was so thoughtful, and we really appreciate you reaching out. Please send us your t-shirt size and address so we can send you a Compassion and Cucumbers swag bag. And you can send that information by either texting us using the link in our show notes. You can email us at compassionandcucumbers@gmail.com, or you can simply DM us on Instagram or Facebook.
And for the rest of you out there, if you would like a listener shout out, simply email us at compassionandcucumbers@gmail.com, DM us on Instagram or Facebook, or use the link in our show notes to send us a text. And remember, you can always nominate someone else for a shout out.
Yeah, and I think that's a really fun thing to do.
I do too.
Yeah.
I'm going to start nominating people for shout outs.
Okay. I'm down with that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Do I have to send you an email?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Okay.
That's how it works.
Might have to rethink
How am I
this.
going to keep track of it if you don't?
That's fair.
I mean, I
Okay.
suppose I could write it down.
Yeah, but you know.
All right, let's wrap this baby up. But before we go, be sure to subscribe to the show and leave us a review on your favorite podcast app, and subscribe to our YouTube. Also, be sure and like and follow us on Facebook and Instagram for updates about the show, pictures of the vegan food we find, and a bunch of other stuff. And if you want to get news about upcoming episodes, you can do that by subscribing to our weekly newsletter at our website, which is compassionandcucumbers.com.
And with that, it's time to sign off. You have just listened to episode 214 of the Compassion and Cucumbers podcast, and there's nothing left to say but where cukes and compassion are always the fashion on the podcast.
Thanks, James.
Have a great week, everyone.
Hey, we'll talk to you next Tuesday.
We love you.
We do. Please take care of yourself and each other. Bye-bye.
The end.
If you'd like to support the Compassion and Cucumbers podcast, well, you can do that by hopping on over to our Patreon page and becoming a patron. We have all the recipes from our vegan kitchen series up there, and we'll be adding some patron-only episodes in the near future. So thank you for supporting us at whatever level that you choose, and thank you again for listening to Compassion and Cucumbers podcast.